Christian, Apollyon, beware what you do. I am on the king's highway, the way of holiness, therefore take heed. Then Apollyon straddled over the whole road, and said, I am not afraid. Prepare yourself to die. I swear by my infernal den, that you shall go no further. Here I will spill your blood. And with that, Apollyon threw a flaming dart at his heart, but Christian had a shield in his hand, with which he caught the dart, and so prevented that danger. Then Christian prepared himself for battle, as Apollyon rushed at him, throwing darts as thick as hail. Yet notwithstanding all that Christian could do to avoid it, Apollyon wounded him in his head, his hand, and his foot. This made Christian slightly retreat. Apollyon, therefore, continued his furious attack. Christian again took courage, and resisted as manfully as he could. This intense combat lasted for more than half a day, until Christian was nearly exhausted. For Christian, because of his wounds, was becoming weaker and weaker. Then Apollyon, seeing his opportunity, forced himself closer to Christian, and wrestling with him, gave him a dreadful fall, and with that, Christian's sword flew out of his hand. Then Apollyon almost pressed him to death, so that Christian began to despair of life. Then Apollyon exclaimed, I am sure of you now. But as God would have it, while Apollyon was fetching his last blow to make a full end of him, Christian nimbly stretched out his hand for his sword, and grasped it, saying, Do not gloat over me, O my enemy. Though I have fallen, I will again rise. And with that, he gave Apollyon a deadly thrust, which made him fall back, as one who had received a mortal wound. Christian, perceiving that, rushed at him, saying, In all these things we are more than conquerors, through him who loved us. And with that, Apollyon spread his dragon wings, and sped away, so that Christian saw him no more for a season. No man can imagine what yelling and hideous roaring Apollyon made during all this combat, and on the other side, what sighs and groans burst from Christian's heart. He struggled fiercely, until he perceived that he had wounded Apollyon with his two-edged sword. Then, indeed, he looked upward with thanksgiving. So when the battle was over, Christian said, I will here give thanks to him who delivered me out of the mouth of the lion, to him who helped me against Apollyon. Then a hand came to him, with some of the leaves of the tree of life, which Christian took, and applied to the wounds which he had received in the battle, and was healed immediately. He also sat down to eat the bread, and to drink from the bottle which were given to him at the Palace Beautiful. So being refreshed, Christian continued his journey, with his sword drawn in his hand, for he thought, I do not know but that some other enemy may be nearby. But he met with no other attack from Apollyon through the remainder of the valley.